Good morning. My name is Jay Ashborne, and we are actually getting to touch ladder today. We're going to be blowing through Erica probably for another few days and seeing how that works, and we're going to change it up. I have some other lists I'd like to run too. After the nerfs, we're going to try to experiment and see if anything has gotten progressively maybe more playable with some of the changes, considering the Erica changes are pretty substantial. Probably in, I would say, a week, we're going to move on to AM and probably play that for the rest of the season. Maybe a week and a half. I don't know. Anyway, Tau. This is pretty low ladder. These are like my first 10 games that I've encountered. This is just me slamming into ranked because I didn't really get the chance. It's pretty barren at the moment. Classic takes a bit to queue. Everybody's pretty hyped on skirmish, but that is okay. We will find ranked opponents eventually. We do hit some names that I know, so that's a good thing. Him leaving this Celestian alive is a major problem. It's always an issue when Celestian sticks on the board. The good thing about this game is that our faith gain's actually off the charts. We got a great amount of easy faith, so we don't have to worry about having low faith and struggling to get our Sacred Rose units to come out with flank. Goes into a marksman, and I think he's not looking happy with this board state. He has no way to clear the Celestian right now, so it's going to be alive for another turn, which means out comes another... Oh yeah, I was going to say, yeah, this is going to compound pretty heavily. He decides to wrap it up. That's fine. We'll move on. Ooh, Space Wolves, and you guys will see a lot of this, so be prepared. LKE? Big man blast, yeah. Big man blast, big man blast. He is a top 50 player almost every season that I've seen. Very competitive guy. So that's pretty cool. At least we know we're falling into a good player. Even at low ranks, you can occasionally bump into higher ranked players. Just depends on who all's queuing and what times they queue. I don't really think the matchmaking algorithm tends to pair you against players that are better. Like, I don't think, like, if you have a higher MMR, you're going to find higher MMR players. That does not seem to be the case with me. Or at least from my experience. It seems to me that it just completely 100% randomly pairs you. I've hit players that were 2,000 MMR lower than me. I've hit players that were 2,000 MMR higher. It does not care. At this point, I believe he was about 1,100 higher than me, and this is like I said, the very first few games I played in this. We're gonna tempo Amalia here, just to get some board state. This is my first experience against Space Wolves. So this is kind of me breaking into the vibe of it. I've seen clips of what they can do in skirmish. Pretty crazy. We have a great hand. Oh, see, I thought this troop would not even see play. Apparently flank is just that good. You would think with all the removal he has in his arsenal that he might have prepped for a little bit earlier game. Looks like this is going to be either a mid-range or control variant from the looks of it. I was really worried that the meta would speed up whenever Space Wolves was released, but it looks like if mid-range and control is possibly a thing, then it might actually slow down, which would be nice. The meta needs to slow down. It's really fast. And if the meta slows down, then maybe the 9 faith isn't so bad on Erica. You never know. Just things kind of compound and lay into each other. We'll have to see how everything turns up over the next few days and see if, you know, aggro and you know, your Eldari, your Orc, Beatdown, your Varo Codex are still these top pushing decks. Okay. Cycle here. Draws another card. Knew that card would see play. It's very good. Cantrips are always powerful.
Bring them fury.
He's taking a thought here. Decides to break the shield. Yep. Out comes the free trade wolf. Gnarly. I really underestimated how often you would be triggering ferocity. I thought it would be like maybe every other turn thing. In these games, it seemed like he was able to knock his cost down on his talent to 0 almost every turn, and he was getting to cast his talent for free. When you're trying to put up shields in Prey, it is very hard to play against that, because considering he can not only melee to break a shield, but he can also cast the rune that allows him to ping everything, or 3 things at random for 1. It is very hard to gain faith against this. However, we are setting it for, I wouldn't say comfortable, but it's okay. Out comes another wolf. Pretty crazy. See what he chooses to do here. Looks like that's going to sit at 1. He's going to cast his rune to ping it off eventually, so we can suppose Erica's getting hit here too. Okay. Yep. We saw that coming a mile away. Now Warlord trade and unit trade, I'm guessing, to take out the Rhino. He still has 3 energy left over. Okay, another wolf. That is 3 wolves we've seen. Looks like one of the cycles maybe picked up another one. Pretty good. Yeah, that's that mechanic, little bit strong, kind of crazy. I'm gonna play out the Adelaide here. Move on. Really hate that name. I'm just gonna start calling her Addie. Last season, he had LKE had a Emperor's Children logo or avatar. Seems he has moved on to Tau. Yep, that'll definitely remove my unit. Definitely the control archetype here, playing for the long game, looking to pick off these troops. I thought you would have so much board you wouldn't see that troop, so it looks like that prediction came out a little bit wrong, but that's fine. You know, we don't get all of them. This prayer is not going through regardless. He can talent up in any case. One of the notable things here is the Exorcist draw and the Cleansing Flame draws are pretty run bad. We are sitting at 6 faith. He seems to have found both of his flankers. Cycled for enough troops to see 3, maybe 4 wolves. The amount of card draw, just by, you know, shuffling this back into your deck and finding a new card or throwing down the wolf and activating it out. He ran pretty hot this game, I feel. I feel like, I know Space Wolves is good. I didn't expect to win this matchup. I just feel like he ran pretty hot this game. It felt a lot closer than I think it should have been. I thought I was going to get, like, absolutely stomped. But no, it really did feel like, it really did feel like this game was kind of close. Yeah, the Cleansing Flames turns out to be okay. The Exorcist's still been chilling in hand for a while now. Now we're on this 9E turn, and this is what concerned me, because currently Sisters doesn't run a solution for a problem like this, unless it's Divine Intervention. If you were looking to clear a troop this big, you either stunlock it, or you hard remove it with DI or Amalia. My real problem is here. How are we going to solve threats like this? Do we have to change our list to alter it, or do we have to kind of find something else? Because these threats that are coming down, where you normally had an overwhelming board state to take care of it, now we can't because of these wolves that keep the board under control so well. So are we going to have to alter our list to run something else to take care of threats like this? Because this threat looks crazy right now. Not looking pretty. Yeah, I noticed the drop pod come out, the triggers. I'm just like, yeah. Let's see what's going on. We're going to get a bunch of triggers here for units coming into play. Kind of puts them over the benchmark to kill us. And I'm pretty, not like upset, I would say. Just unsatisfied with the fact that I ran pretty bad. Tends to be the case sometimes, I suppose. Here we are in another one, another top 50 player here. So we ran pretty good yesterday, I guess, for our first day on ladder. We are pretty low rank, but hopefully that will change. Looks like we have slammed into some players that are pretty notable. Getting a good mix of seeing the Space Wolves. We'll have to check out which ones are the most prevalent. Starting as of these games, I have started a spreadsheet, and we are going to track what the meta looks like. We can expect it to be Space Wolves obsessed, and I'm starting a spreadsheet on what lists and warlords people are running to kind of do my own meta report. I'm also doing this, I'm taking note of the MMR of the players. This way I'm able to separate what successful players are running and what non-successful players are running, so I can see the difference in what people think is good and what people think is good at different ranks, I suppose. Throwing up the prayer here with shield. That Sacred Rose Sister would have came into Faith as a 2/3, and granted this were last patch. But it is not. This troop, again, gets pretty unlucky on the 50-50. Does not hit what he wants to hit. Throw out the prayer here. Considered tempo Amalia to just get more stats on the board. Decide against it, go for the talent, pray anyway. Put that up to 5. Chilling with the hunt mark trigger on it. Again, so here is the second one of those we've seen. That's pretty run good for turn 6. You know, he's on his 5th turn of the game with 5 energy, and he's seen 2 of them. Pretty solid, my man. Not bad at all. Out comes the Astrid. Gonna throw the shield. This will definitely put us up to another faith. He's gonna struggle to clear. Out comes another one. So in the past three turns, he has played 3 of those. You can see my frustration as I draw on this screen. Wow, bro, you are running hot. Apparently purchasing the Space Wolves bundle gives you better RNG. My lord. There's 2 games we've had where people have ran extremely hot against me. Wow. Talk about being just... I mean, like, I guess it's gotta happen eventually. Odds are not in your favor, but my lord, can, like, RNGesus just give me a break? Fenrisian Drop Pod comes out. Lots of Hunt Mark triggers gonna fall. Here. I had a feeling that card might see play somewhere. I was just hesitant to say it was good because the stats are not there on it. Throwing out 3 of these guys is very, very good though. So, get these Grey Hunters throwing their triggers out. Let's see. A little bit of thought pouring into this turn. Consider the Celestine. Consider the Celestine again. Cleansing Flames? Yeah, it's like Cleansing Flames to wrap this up, I'm guessing. Debating this, then I decide, I'm like, no. The Crusader was gonna die anyway, so I figured I might as well. This is a tempo Amalia, just for stats on the board. We're gonna pray to give it 5 health. Just want something that he has to bash into, or that I'm going to apply pressure with. Both of these Space Wolves games so far, our life totals have remained remotely the same, and I think that's gonna be... I don't know if I ever noticed that when I was reviewing cards, but it looks like they may be using their life total as a heavy resource where other classes do not use it as much, and maybe that's why Hunt Mark came into play so much, because they may have realized they were losing a little bit too much life if they do play test in-house. Or maybe the players that are playing are using their life totals really aggressively. I don't know. It just seemed like in both of these games I played against Space Wolves, their life totals were really close to mine all game long. And it felt a lot closer than, like when you get shit stomped by Varro Codex, like their life total basically doesn't change all game. You just get wrecked. In these games, even though I lost the last one, it felt like, man, it just felt like it was a little bit closer than it should have been. You know, it's like, well, maybe if I drew this card, then they would have struggled, and maybe I could have pushed for damage or something. Don't know if that's the case. Celestine on 8E. Amalia to put the pressure on, completely ignoring the fact they have a card in play. It said, no bro, I'm just gonna smack you. Now this puts a very interesting conjunction on me, because I know there's only 3 taunts in their set. There's only 3 taunts in their set, and the question is, does he run them? Or any, to be fair. Because on the following turn, I have at least 7, 8, 9 with my Warlord. There's 2 additional threats on play. It provides a whole new aspect. You can see he trades off here. Take a Hunt Mark trigger, that's fine. Now what? This card I am not a fan of. I do not believe this is a correct card to run. The card's too vanilla. Does not do enough. That one, however, is good. So it's to ping me. Thinking this one through. Ordering and sequencing is important here. So ping this. do not want this ferocity to trigger, so we're going to clear that. Play a rhino. Play a preacher. I probably should have prayed to give myself life here and not the Saint Celestine. So maybe a slight misplay there. 14's pretty low. Don't know if I'm entirely comfortable, especially when he's showing 7 or at least 8 on board. Kind of scary. Out comes the wolf. Out comes a wolf. Pop these ferocity triggers. Yep. So that is pretty big now. He does not pop his ferocity triggers and instead decides to cast this. Definitely a misplay. Somebody's still learning. Yeah, shame concede, possibly. I guess. I don't know. Anyway, that is all I have for you today. I'm gonna wrap some stuff up around the house and try to get moving a little bit, see if I can't get this arm to not be so painful. Make some breakfast and hopefully record a couple more, see if we can't work into this ladder system and explore a little bit more. As of now, Erica does not feel as good as she did. Possibly still playable. Maybe I was a little bit harsh with yesterday's thoughts, but we'll have to see. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow.
Why did you make me do this? You're fighting so you can watch everyone around you die. Think, Mark! You'll outlast every fragile, insignificant being on this planet. You'll live to see this world crumble to dust and blow away. Everyone and everything you know will be gone.